Warning. The Christian Patriot Report is a no-holds-barred, unapologetic show that will easily trigger those that get offended by the truth. Viewers and listeners' discretion is advised. And welcome, everyone, to the Christian Patriot Report. I'm your host, Don Gardner, and on today's show, we're going to talk about one of the possible replacements for President Biden for the Democrat nomination for president. We're also going to talk about the LGBTQ community is showing their true agenda, and how did the first Republican debate go? All that and more right here on the Christian Patriot Report. You don't want to miss this. And welcome, everyone, to the Christian Patriot Report. I'm your host, Don Gardner. There is an idea floating around that if the Democrat Party decides to throw President Biden under the bus, that they will push for the governor of Florida, Gavin Newsome, to run for the Democrat nomination for president in 2024. So, if you want to see what a Governor Newsom's presidency would look like, just look at what's happening in California. Under Governor Newsom's leadership, California has the highest gas prices, and some of the cities, if not all the major cities in California, have some of the highest crime rates in the country. So if that happens, where the Democrats decided to toss Biden out with the trash and decide to go with Governor Newsom, you can expect to see more things like this happening across the country.
Not even see. Oh, they taking the register. Let go. I got the register. I took the register. This nigga took the register. He stole the cash register. He stole it. Oh my God.
You can see, even McDonald's aren't safe in Gavin Newsom's California. Then there's videos like this one. And that's not the only video where stores are getting ransacked by criminals in California.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Oh my god, the store is empty.
You see, in Gavin Newsome's California, you really need to know your surroundings because thieves will steal your own luggage from the back of your car. You see, this is one of those segments where if you're just listening to the show, wherever you get your podcasts, you really need to watch the show. Because all you're hearing is what's going on. You're not seeing what the criminals in California are getting away with. So just go to our YouTube channel, go to our BitTube channel, go to our Rumble channel, and just watch the show from there. And you'll see exactly what you've been hearing, what's going on in California. Now, if the Democrat Party decides to force President Biden out of the White House, and I don't know why they would do that to President Biden, because honestly, Biden has given them everything they ever wanted and more. But if they try to replace him with Gavin Newsome, you can expect the crime rates to go up across the country. And criminals will be emboldened under a Newsome presidency. Most of the big cities and states with the highest crime rates are the ones being run by Democrats and the Democrat Party. This is why Democrats should never earn your vote. Ever. And with that, we'll be right back after this. Don Gardner from the Christian Patriot Report. We're going to see what U.S. president are we? Donald Trump. Not a bad choice, but you know what? We would have handled COVID a heck of a lot better than he did. But make sure you listen to the Christian Patriot Report at dongardner.weebly.com. And welcome back, everyone, to the Christian Patriot Report. The LGBTQ plus community would love to be able to paint itself as being tolerant and being the victim. But their false masks, the mask that they are wearing, is beginning to show some cracks. Check out this mob chanting for trans rights and see if you think they sound tolerant to you, and do they seem normal?
What do we want? Trans rights! When do we want them? Now! What do we want? Trans rights! When do we want them? Now! What do we want? Trans rights! When do we want it? Now!
Looks to me like someone's off their meds. But sometimes the LGBTQ plus mob can become even more aggressive than that. Check this out.
And sir, what about you? So this is genderqueer, by the way. This is being shown to children. You think that graphic is appropriate for children? Do you? It's a simple question. It's a yes or no answer. You think that should be shown to children in libraries?
I think you already heard. He doesn't want to talk to you, so will you please just...
I'm just asking. I need one answer from any of you guys. Do you think this is appropriate for children's libraries?
Be a Christian for the first time in your life.
Do you think that's appropriate, sir?
Walk away.
You think this is appropriate?
Walk away. Like just Jesus with you. Walk away.
See, this is another segment of the show where those of you that are just listening to the podcast, you need to watch the show at our YouTube channel, on our BitTube channel, or even our Rumble channel. Just pick one, whatever one you want to do, and watch what exactly were they giving the middle finger to and what was going on. Because the photo, you'll be able to see it in the show. Photos that kids should never be able to see because it's pornographic. But yet, these members of the LGBTQ community, obviously, by flipping off the camera, they feel it's appropriate for your children to see those images. Then, there are times when members of the LGBTQ plus community really sound insane. Check this out.
Gender is like the inside filling of a donut. You can't tell what's on the inside just by looking at the outside. Let's take this jelly-filled donut, for example. Usually donuts that look like this are filled with raspberry jam, but it could be strawberry or rhubarb. We just don't know. The same logic applies to babies. You can't know a baby's gender until they're old enough to tell you themselves. Sure, you can make an educated guess, but why risk being wrong? This is exactly why gender reveal parties are so silly. It's like celebrating this chocolate donut for having vanilla cream filling when it could have banana pudding inside. In a perfect world, we just celebrate the donut, not the filling inside. Maybe we even give babies gender-neutral names to start so that there's no expectation of a gender they're supposed to live up to. Maybe we give them choices along the way so that they can figure it out for themselves. Like, what kind of clothes do you want to wear, or what kind of toys do you want to play with? Maybe kids get to have their own gender reveal party so that they can tell the world themselves.
Did these members of the LGBTQ community eat paint chips as a child? Or lick 9-volt batteries as a kid? Then there are times when the LGBTQ plus community tells us what their real agenda is. When you hear them say that they're coming for our children, you should believe them. This community is intolerant to us and to any ideas that goes against their agenda, because their ultimate goal is to indoctrinate our children to their sick and twisted ideology. The more this community shows us their true faces, the more we should unite together and protect our children from their wicked, evil agenda. And you know what, YouTube? I'm not even coming out to bash them. So I shouldn't even be censored for this segment. Because I'm not saying anything that's wrong. I'm just pointing out the truth. The real truth behind this community. So if I do get censored on YouTube, that should show you that YouTube, Google, and other media, however you want to call them, are thoroughly behind pushing this LGBTQ plus agenda down our throats, and we shouldn't let them. Because ultimately, as parents, it's our job to protect our children from any agenda trying to be forced on them, regardless of community. I'm not calling for violence. I'm not calling for anything to go against this community. But it should show you just how evil and sick some of the members of this community are. Because I know it's not all the members of the LGBTQ plus community. There are some that are standing alongside people like me and saying this is wrong. It's the radical members of this community that need to be called out. And YouTube, Google, or any other media, you need to point them out too. And with that, we'll be right back after this. Don Gardner from the Christian Patriot Report. We're going to see what team we're going to be. Phillies. Oh, no. Let's go Mets. Let's go Mets. And you can watch and listen to the Christian Patriot Report at dongardner.weebly.com and Let's Go Mets. Don Gardner from the Christian Patriot Report. We're going to try this again and see what team we get. There you go. There you go. Let's go Mets. Let's go Mets. Make sure you listen to the Christian Patriot Report at dongardner.weebly.com. And welcome back, everyone, to the Christian Patriot Report. And the first Republican debate is in the books. And I know some of us, it wasn't the same without President Trump being there. But we got to see the other candidates. And some performed well, while others seemed to wither away while in the spotlight. So let's take a look at which candidates made the cut in the first Republican debate for President of the United States. So let's take a look at the candidates that qualified for the first Republican debate as being reported on by PBS. These were the following candidates: Governor Ron DeSantis. We got Senator Tim Scott. There was also former governor of South Carolina, Nikki Haley. Of course, the businessman, Vivek Ramaswamy. Former New Jersey governor, Chris Christie. This guy I didn't know very well. I didn't know that he was, does it even say here what he was? Doug Burgum, I think he was North Dakota's governor. There it says right there. Former Vice President Mike Pence, and I believe this was Arkansas governor, former Arkansas governor Asa Hutchinson. These were the people that qualified. And I'm surprised that certain people didn't make it. But let's see. After watching the debate, let's see how Fox News is reporting on this. This is a piece from Andrew Mark Miller. It says GOP voters say DeSantis delivered best performance in first primary debate. And I have to concur. I feel that DeSantis did well. He could have done better, but he did well. And I believe that, as it says, a poll taken after first GOP presidential primary debate on Wednesday shows that a plethora of Republican voters felt that Florida Governor Ron DeSantis won the night. I have to concur with that. I do believe that he did very well. He could have done a little bit better. He might have, there are some issues with the whole, raising the hand if you support this, raise your hand if you support that. And then he said, look, we're not children. I'm not raising my hand. And then when the moderator says, raise your hand if you would support Donald Trump if he's the nominee, and he reluctantly raised his hand. But then again, every other person did, except for Vivek Ramaswamy. That might be a moment that might come back to bite him, but he did well. Even Newsmax is saying, poll, DeSantis performed best in GOP debate, as this is a piece from Mark Swanson, says Republican Governor Ron DeSantis performed the best in the first GOP presidential debate Wednesday night, edging out entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy. And I have to admit, Vivek, you did well. You did really well in that debate, and definitely stirred up a lot of conversation. There's a reason why the media is promoting him, and there's a reason why he was trending on Twitter, because he made some noise. I don't agree with everything that he stands for. There are some issues that I have with Vivek, but he did well. And even Newsmax is reporting Iowa poll shows post-debate bump for DeSantis. This is written by Theodore Bunker. This is a piece that says Florida Governor Ron DeSantis saw the largest increase in favorability among Republican candidates following the first GOP presidential debate, according to the new Iowa poll from Public Opinion Strategies. DeSantis saw his favorable rating rise by about 4% points, while Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina saw his rise by 1 point. Former Vice President Mike Pence rating rose by less than 1 point. And former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley, who was also the former governor of South Carolina, fell by 2 points. And entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy fell by 6 points. I don't know about that. I mean, something about that doesn't feel right, because maybe they're taking some issues with what he said. There's definitely some issues that I have with Ramaswamy, but he's still a contender as far as I'm concerned. And former President Donald Trump rating dropped by 9 points. I don't know about that. Look, Trump is Trump. And with the mugshot, that's just going to raise it up even more. And of course, then the guy got Chris Christie, who dropped by 14 points. I'm not surprised, because even I don't like Christie. I know a lot about Christie. I know a lot about what he did in New Jersey. And let's face it, Governor Christie, you shouldn't even be in the race, because your record stinks. I saw what you did in New Jersey. You didn't do anything. But this is what they're saying. So take it or leave it. If you've watched the debate, you know exactly who came out on top and who didn't. You know who did well and who didn't. And I'm surprised at certain people, certain politicians who didn't do well, that should have. And I'm also surprised at who made the stage and who didn't. I think this was a missed opportunity that Larry Elder should have been on stage. I don't know if he qualified. He should have qualified. Larry Elder should have been on that stage, because I think Larry Elder would have took advantage of his opportunity on stage. And I think that was a missed opportunity. And that's unfortunate, because I do like Larry Elder as a candidate. And I think that if he's able to get on the debate stage, but this is just further proof that if you can't get on the debate stage, you're not a contender for the Republican primary for the nomination for president of the United States. So who won the debate? If you listen to people like Dan Bongino, it's Vivek Ramaswamy. Because he got to basically be trending on Twitter, and really you can see the media is pushing him hard. But if you listen to people like Mark Levin, well, it was Governor Ron DeSantis. I, however, think the stars of this debate were the following people: Vivek Ramaswamy, Governor Ron DeSantis, and of course, President Donald Trump. I know he wasn't there, but did you see Tucker Carlson's interview and the ratings they got? Let's face it, without Trump being there, he won the debate. Kind of won the debate without being there. I mean, he was even a subject, a question being asked by the moderators, which, by the way, moderators, Fox News, could you get any moderators better than that? I mean, come on. What happened? If I had to handpick the moderators, I'm going to go with either Sean Hannity, Greg Gutfeld, and Judge Jean whatever her name is. I can't think of it off the top of my head right now. But I also feel that for those that didn't make it onto the stage for this debate, if you can't make it onto the stage for the next debate, then you need to withdraw from the race immediately. So that's like Larry Elder and all the other guys I can't think of, because honestly, you didn't qualify for this debate. And I'm sorry to have to say, it's Larry Elder, because I do like him as a candidate. But if you can't get on the debate stage, you're not going to win the nomination. And if you're not going to get on the debate stage, you need to withdraw immediately. But for those that did make the stage for this debate, the following candidates need to do better in the next debate, or they should also withdraw from the race too. Those candidates are Governor Doug Burgum, Governor Asa Hutchinson. See, I can't even say their name because I didn't even know they were even on the stage until they announced them. Governor Chris Christie, we knew you were on the stage. For someone who got lap band surgery, it didn't work. It didn't work. You should have took that lap band and put it around your mouth. Maybe then it would have worked. Vice President Mike Pence, wow. You changed. You were mean. We saw a different side of Mike Pence on that debate. Not saying I didn't like it, but honestly, Mike Pence, your candidacy for President of the United States died the moment Tucker Carlson interviewed you. I don't care what you did as the vice president. You're done. Leave. Go. And this debate, you didn't help yourself anymore. Governor Nikki Haley, I never did like you as a candidate to begin with. So if you can't do better in the next debate, hit the bricks. I don't care. You can quote Margaret Thatcher all you want. The fact is you're not Margaret Thatcher. You're not even close to it, because Margaret Thatcher wouldn't ask Disney or say Disney could come into her country if she knew what Disney was all about. You did that. You said you would allow, if you were governor of South Carolina, you would allow Disney to bring all their jobs to South Carolina and bring their left-wing ideology to South Carolina. We don't need them in South Carolina. They can go back to California, as far as I'm concerned. Let's take a look at who else. And I'm saddened to have to say this, because I was a supporter of his candidacy. But you didn't do well. Senator Tim Scott, you need to do better. And if you don't do better in the next debate, you're done. Go. You need to leave. Your candidacy for President of the United States is over if you can't do better. You have a good story, but I've kind of felt like you withered away on the stage. You didn't do well. You need to do better, and you need to fight back in order to get your name out there. Because here's the thing. I got the feeling that these candidates, some of them, are running to win the Republican to win the vice presidency and be the running mate to whoever wins the Republican nomination. That's the feeling I got watching this debate. Tim Scott, Nikki Haley, Mike Pence to a certain extent, which I don't know why he would even get the nomination, but some of these guys, all you're doing is trying to be the running mate to either Donald Trump, Ron DeSantis, or Vivek Ramaswamy. Because those are the three serious candidates. You got President Donald Trump, Governor Ron DeSantis, and Mr. Vivek Ramaswamy. Those are the three. That's it. That's all we got. Those are the three serious candidates for President of the United States for the Republican nomination. All the rest of you, if you don't do better in the next debate, hit the bricks. Go. Leave. You're done. So the question I have to ask you is this. Out of all three of these candidates, who's the best? I know I'm a Ron DeSantis supporter, and Ron did do a very good job in this debate. I think he had some bad moments, but he had a lot more good moments. And let's face it, he also shared what his record is. His record is good. Vivek, I have trouble trusting you because you have flip-flopped on many issues. The main issue being climate change, global warming. I know you did. You said the right thing, and you said it was a hoax, but you have been on record as saying that global warming is real. Which one is it, Vivek? Because we're not dealing with people who flip-flop like a dead fish. We need serious candidates. And, of course, there's Donald Trump, who right now has his mugshot circulating around all social media. Honestly, I have the feeling like Donald Trump might run away with this, and I have no problem with that happening. And I know that the Democrat Party is doing everything in their power to try to kneecap Donald Trump, trying to make him ineligible for president. But out of these three candidates, Trump, DeSantis, Ramaswamy, these are three choices that would do better as President of the United States than the train wreck we got in the White House right now. So the question is, when the election comes in November of 2024, who are you going to vote for? You're going to continue to vote for the train wreck that is President Biden? Or are you going to pick someone else that will help build a stronger America? It's up to you. It's up to us. And with that, we'll be right back after this. Don Gardner from the Christian Patriot Report. We're going to see what country we're going to move to if Biden wins re-election in 2024. Canada. No, I think I'm going to stay in America after this one. But you can listen to the Christian Patriot Report at dongardner.weebly.com. And that's our show for today. And I want to thank you, those of you that take the time to listen to our show on our wherever you get your podcast from. And the only thing we ask is once you're done listening to the podcast, please follow us, follow the show, give us a 5-star rating if the podcast platform allows it, and write a nice positive review if that platform also allows that. And, of course, write into us and tell us if there's a platform out there that you would like to hear us on, because that's a platform that you use more often. Feel free to give us some suggestions and write that into us. We definitely appreciate it because we're looking forward to trying to find other platform sites to get the show on. And, of course, for those of you that do listen to the show, you're now listening to the show on our Rumble, our BitChute channel. And now we're going to try something a little different because you've noticed, for those of you that have subscribed to us on YouTube, last week's show was up on our YouTube channel, just not the entire show. But we are trying something different on YouTube. We're deciding to take a condensed version of the show and put it up on our YouTube channel just to see if it would work. Because, honestly, breaking up the show into segments and putting it up on YouTube, some of us don't have a whole lot of time to do that. So trying to cut down on that. So who knows? I know that leaves us open because let's face it, with today's show dealing with the LGBTQ plus community and some of the other controversial things that we might say, and we're not going to shy away from speaking the truth on YouTube. Look, I don't care if YouTube takes away our show. I don't care. If they ban us from YouTube, that's the reason we have Rumble. That's the reason we have BitChute. And all you're doing, YouTube and Google, is saving us more time to concentrate on other social media sites. That's all you're doing. And that's fine with me. But also, we do have a Facebook page, which we're still restricted. So we're looking into possible other social media sites to see, Gab or Mind or whatever other ones we're looking into to get a backup for Facebook, because honestly, it's only a matter of time before even Facebook might kick us off that site. We are on Twitter or X, and let's face it, there's other sites we can go on that are similar to Twitter, but so far Twitter is okay, but it's only a matter of time before Twitter could turn into Facebook or YouTube. We're on Instagram, and I know Facebook runs that, and ironically, we're not restricted on Instagram yet, but who knows. And as I said, we're on YouTube as of right now. We do have Rumble, which you can watch full episodes of the Christian Patriot Report. We're on Getter, so for those of you that have Getter, go over there and follow us. We're on TikTok, but we haven't done anything new on TikTok in a while. Maybe we'll start with the with some of the other video ideas we might be doing. Who knows? We're on Truth Social, so if you're on Truth Social, follow us on Truth Social. And of course, we're on BitChute, which is our newest channel that you can watch full episodes of the Christian Patriot Report. And that that site is fun. We're getting a lot of good responses, and we're getting a lot of good views, and we're getting a lot of good reactions. And honestly, BitChute is, like I said in the previous show, it's very similar to how YouTube was, and it's a lot of fun over there. So if you do have, or if you don't have a BitChute account, go over there and check it out. And you can also check out our website at dongarner.weebly.com. That's WEEBLY.com. Go check out what else we got over there. And again, I just want to say thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to either listen to the show or watch the show. And the only thing we ask is just follow us on wherever you get your podcast. Follow us if you're watching the show on wherever you're watching the show. And for those of you that continue to share our content, thank you very much for doing that. That's one of the ways to support us, and that's completely free. Because let's face it, we're not going to stop speaking the truth on this show. Social media sites aren't going to censor the Christian Patriot Report. It's not going to happen. Sorry. That's just the reality that we're facing. And if we get censored on different sites, we'll find other sites that will allow us to exercise our First Amendment rights, because that is the most important thing moving forward with this show. Any site that censors us, hey, it's only, or bans us, it's fine. We will find a replacement for you. No problem. So until next time, I'm Don Gardner. This has been the Christian Patriot Report. May God bless you. May God bless America. May God make America godly again. May you guys have a good rest of your week, and I'll see you guys later with another exciting episode of the Christian Patriot Report. Bye-bye, guys.